Hi everyone, welcome back to Susan Sunday Spotlight. This week I have a cooperative game for you to play at the beginning of the year. It's an activity that I used to do with my first graders every single year when we started, and I would usually do it around the end of the first week. Essentially, the activity is called cooperative puzzles, and students will have to work together to silently and cooperatively put together a puzzle. Now, to have your students play cooperative puzzles, all you'll need to do is print out and prep some different puzzles. You can do this in a few different ways. You can find different images online that you think the kids will relate to and really like, maybe favorite characters of a book or a TV show that they're really into. You could also just go ahead and print out things like school supplies, which is what I did. So here's like a stack of books and some glue, scissors, I have a crayon box, I have a few other ones. And you'll just want to go ahead, it's easiest if you laminate these because you can save them year to year, but you can laminate it and then you'll want to cut it into about 6 different pieces. You could do 4, you could do 5, 4 is a little simple, 6 I find to be pretty good. And so I just go ahead and, like I said, I have these dotted lines here for you to cut them out and store them in little baggies. And so once you have those all prepped up, all you'll do is you'll get your students in groups. And for my first graders, we actually sat in groups throughout the year. So this was a great way for us to work together and kind of get to know our group a little bit better. So I would usually go ahead and put about 3 or 4 different cut up laminated puzzles on each group's desk. You could have some students work at the rug if they need to, or at their tables, wherever you want to do it. So like I said, I usually have about 3 puzzles per group for them to complete, and I spread them out on the desks in front of them, and they're usually in different Ziploc baggies, so this will start in a bag. And I tell students that not only do they have to be silent, but they have to put one hand behind their back. So I don't know if you've ever tried, but opening up a Ziploc baggie with only one hand is very difficult. So already from the beginning, they're gonna have to work together to open up the bag, dump out the pieces, and try to put the puzzle together. I also let students know that while they only have one hand and they have to be silent, they can only each use one puzzle piece at a time. So since they only have one hand, that's pretty, self-explanatory, but you'll have some who will try to grab a few pieces and do it all themselves. But so they each need to grab a piece and they need to work together until the puzzle is solved. Once they complete the first puzzle, they are allowed to open up the second puzzle, complete that, and then the third, and so on. You can turn this into a racing type game if you want and see which group wins. I have done that sometimes, and other times I just kind of made it about, let's see how your group works together. You can really start to see a lot from your students in terms of their personalities and the way they work when you closely observe this type of activity. Especially at the beginning of the year, it gives you a little insight into your students. It's a lot of fun. Now, another reason I have used school supplies in the past is because oftentimes I will go around and I will pick one of the school supplies for each group to go ahead and share with the class and explain where those items are stored. So for instance, I'll pick a group that has completed one of the crayon puzzles and I will ask them to stand up and I will ask them to share where their crayons are stored for the year. So you might have community supplies, or everyone might store their crayons in their own desk or in the center of their bin or in one place in the classroom. These are just some helpful reminders for them to share to everybody and kind of model where these things are going to be. Like I said, same with the glue, the classroom scissors. Maybe they could go over and share where your library is and where your books will be stored. I also have a markers one and a ruler one. These cooperative puzzles right here I actually have for free. If you want to go ahead, they are linked down below. In order to get them, you do need to sign up for my email list, which every single week I'm basically sending out an email with some free ideas and activities, and I actually usually link to these YouTube videos anyway. So in order to get these, you'll just go ahead and insert your name and email address for them. I did mention this earlier, but you don't need to go the whole school supply route. You could easily, like I said, print out some cool characters from TV shows they love. You could print out different places around your city that maybe they have visited. You could print out all sorts of things, and they create really good talking points after the puzzles have been completed. Once the puzzles are all complete, I go ahead and store them back in the plastic bags, and I will even take this activity out a few times throughout the first month of school. That way you're not just using it once and done, no point in wasting all that laminating. Sometimes I'll go ahead and keep them in an easy math storage tub or take them out for some morning work or things like that. I hope you enjoyed learning about these cooperative puzzles. They are very simple and a lot of fun, especially for your K2 students to work together and try to solve them. I bet your older kids would like them too. These ones, of course, are only split into 6 pieces. If you were working with older students, you might want to make them a little trickier. And for that, all you would have to do is really find an image and cut it however you want to. So these ones are on the simpler side, but like I said, you could easily make them more difficult. As always, if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Be sure you subscribe to my channel because every single week I have a new game or a new idea that I like to share with you during my Susan Sunday Spotlight. See you next week. Bye.